Mental health is something that I've always struggled with, but I haven't always shown it.
Like most people, I suffer with mental health things from time to time.
I do sometimes feel stressed and low and struggle, feel overwhelmed and a big weight on my shoulders.
As I've gotten older in my life, I've experienced more anxiety in terms of what the future holds, what's happening around me.
I often find myself getting tired much quicker and being more lethargic with no energy to do anything.
Not having the urge or the motivation to go out and socialise with people.
Throughout having it, I've always tried to keep it in.
To me, mental health is still a subject that we don't talk about enough on a day-to-day as young men. Knowing what to do at times, especially on tough days, it can be hard.
It's harder for men to talk about their emotions because they don't want to be seen as this vulnerable person that actually feels something and that it has an effect on their life.
I feel like there is a stigma with men and their mental health challenges. Why? Because men are seen as, for example, head of the households, strong men, and you don't really tie in mental health with them.
There is a huge stigma attached to men and mental health, and we're trying to help break down the barriers, and we're doing a great job. The last 10 years has seen men's mental health in the forefront of conversations more and more.
I think we can break down the stigma around men and mental health by just being a bit more open about it and talking more. I mean, I've got "It's okay to talk" written on the car at least 3 times. The idea that blokes can't open up and have these conversations and talk because there's this barrier around seeming weak is something that we as a community need to break down.
For me, sometimes it can get too much. Sometimes with this work, for me, I would just bottle it up and it's like sinking down into the ocean with a rock tied to me. Sometimes all you need to do is cut that rope to get back to where you are.
Men need to know that it's okay to talk and to be open about when they do feel low.
What I try and do is think about the why. I try and write things down, try and talk to people if I can. I've got friends and family.
Well, firstly, I take a minute just to kind of try and understand what I'm feeling and the emotions that are presenting themselves, because I feel like if I don't know what's happening, I have no basis to start putting anything in place to make it better.
One of the ways I raise my spirits when I'm feeling low or anxious is finding a number of people that I am close to, a number of people that I can trust, and a number of people that I feel comfortable with, and opening up to them.
I have worked quite a lot over the last few years to build skills and strategies and a network of people around me that I can utilise and lean on when those times come around.
On the subject of men, their emotions and crying, you've got to let it out. It's a way of sharing how you're feeling.
I think men need to learn how to cry more. I think it's something that we really struggle with because we find there's a sense of weakness attached to crying, and that's not the case.
It's a way of expressing your feeling, and it's a way of taking your feelings under the carpet and putting it out in open. And in my experience, I've actually felt a lot better crying after a situation or a problem.
To tell you the truth, it was hard the first time, like breaking down the vulnerability you show, but it is part of the process of healing.
We can break down the stigma around men and mental health by encouraging more blokes to talk to each other. One thing that I do with this is it says it's okay to talk, and that exists as an opportunity to start that conversation. If more people are around that and see that, and we encourage more blokes to open up, we can start breaking down these barriers.
The advice that I'd give somebody suffering is speak up. Honestly, even if it's just going for a cup of coffee.
My advice to people who are struggling with their mental health is to understand that people are there to listen.
For me, the only way we could break the stigma is to just talk. It's okay to talk. Taking my mates down to the pub, having one drink and saying one simple sentence, "How's your day been?" or "Are you okay?" That can go a long way.
A lot of stories come out when people say if I'd only heard the problems that they were going through, I would have stepped in to try and help them. And if people can't hear about it, it's because people aren't talking about it. And we need to encourage more people to feel like they can talk about their mental health. Be a little bit more familiar with checking in with our mates. It doesn't have to be this big grand gesture of how's your mental health, what's going on. It can be something simple like, shall we grab a coffee, how are things going? And we can start the ball rolling small and grow from there to let people around us know that we're there if we need them.